that accompanies the Border-Gavaskar Trophy at this point in time. Who better than Ravichandran Ashwin to explain how he can analyze the Australian mind? Because look, he tormented them in 2013, he tormented them in 2017, and in subsequent tours that were there in 2021, he was successful in Australia in primarily keeping Steve Smith quiet. So, what did Ravichandran Ashwin say on his YouTube channel when he was analyzing the build-up to the Border-Gavaskar Trophy? He made three very interesting comments. One on Shreyas Iyer, one on the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, and the other one that practice games, not playing any practice games or tour games, are actually not a big issue. Why did he say all that? I'll give you an example. So, immediately R. Ashwin, in his own style, he gave out a very Tamil meaning about the Border-Gavaskar Trophy build-up. It is a very simple thing in Tamil. It says, Aanai varum munnai, osai varum punnai. It means, you will hear the sound of the elephant first. Only after that, the elephant will come. This is how Australia always wants to build up when it comes to the Border-Gavaskar Trophy or for any kind of series. There will be a lot of talk in the media, there will be a lot of things about one particular aspect, and then they will come out to play hard cricket. When it has come to India, when Australia has come to India quite often, that ploy has backfired in a lot of ways. Be it 2013, be it 2017, 2010 before that, 2008 before that. Australia, remember, have not won a series in India for 19 years now, and in this ensuing period from 2008 till 2023 at this point in time, they have only won one test. So maybe yet again Australia sticking to that ploy, this time around the lack of practice games that is there. Now, if you have to look at what is India's perspective in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, Ravichandran Ashwin had one very interesting answer to this. He said, more than the absence of Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer's absence is going to be a very big factor. And he also went out and said that Shreyas Iyer is India's go-to batsman in tests. Why did he say that? Because he recollects that 2016-17 incident in a very big way, because he said 2020-2021 we all hail that as a great series win, but when Australia had come to India in 2016-17, we had bounced back from being 0-1 down to winning the series 2-1. Before the start of the 4-test series though, there was a practice game involving both President's 11 and Australia at the Brabant Stadium in Mumbai. In that, Shreyas Iyer had blasted 202 and he had torn the Australian attack to smithereens in that match. But Iyer was not picked in the 4-test series, rather he bade his time, and now he is now one of the best players of spin in the Indian cricket team. Shreyas Iyer has been ruled out for the first test in Nagpur, unfortunately. Whether he can come back for the Delhi test on February 17th, it remains to be seen, because Shreyas Iyer is currently in the NCA, still rehabilitating. He has taken some injections to ease the back pain, but unfortunately his participation in the Delhi test will be very touch and go. Ashwin reckons that Shreyas Iyer's ability against spin, and because he has had that psychological edge over Australia about 5 years back, that 202 for both President's 11 against Australia, it made him the player to watch out for. And when it comes to practice games, this is the next point that Ashwin really spoke at length on no practice games. You look at the past instances where Australia have toured, be it 2004, be it 2008, 2010, even for a 2-test series, they played a warm-up game in Chandigarh. In 2013, they had 2 warm-up games. In 2017 also, they had 1 warm-up game, the both President's 11 game that I had talked about. Now here, Steve Smith has said we are not going to play any practice games because the surfaces that will be dished out in the practice game will be different from the original match game. So, what did Ravichandran Ashwin say? Very interesting point. No practice game is not a big issue. If you have to look at it, the packed calendar that every team goes through at this point in time, the packed calendar ensures that to turn up in a practice match with intensity is very difficult. How can we turn up with intensity when we already know that the match calendar and the tour calendar is so cramped? So that is why it is better that you do not play a practice game. Anyways, remember, Ravichandran Ashwin pointed out that, okay, Australia are practicing in Alur, which is away 70 kilometers away from the Chinnaswamy Stadium. There they will be promised spin-friendly decks. But what is the main practice match for and the warm-up game for? Primarily to ensure that bowlers come back into heavy workload management, because most of the Australian players would have played only about the Big Bash League games and they would have bowled 4 overs. The practice that they will have at Alur is to ease them into a heavy workload step by step. That is the prime reason for this. And that is why Ravichandran Ashwin said, you cannot practice with that much of intensity. That is why it is better that you don't play a warm-up game. And yes, he did say, with all fairness, whatever was there in the Brabant pitch in 2016-17 doesn't recall it to be a total green deck. But yes, in Pune, that became a total dust bowl because curators were different, conditions were different, and that is why different pitches for different games. Ravichandran Ashwin went on to say that, see, India cannot afford a workload management even in a practice game. Why is that? Very, very intricate details on that. When India tours England or Australia, there the local association gives out the tickets and there is a streaming because everybody wants to see India's top stars play. So in that situation, how can we manage our workload and our fitness? This is the one thing that Ashwin has pointed out, and it has to be taken into account very, very seriously. Now for Australia, what did Ravichandran Ashwin say? He said Steve Smith, Manas Labuschagne are the best batters, but he reckons that Usman Khawaja will be the key because Usman Khawaja has been prime form when they went to Pakistan. Usman Khawaja was, ever since he came back, because Marcus Harris suffered an injury, Usman Khawaja has been Australia's go-to player in test matches. Keeping Steve Smith will be extremely important. Remember, Smith averages over 60 in India. So that is why keeping Steve Smith quiet will be very, very important. And he also said that if you are wanting to go with 4 spinners, why didn't you take Adam Zampa? He said that probably because Adam Zampa has not played much of first-class cricket. That is why the door was shut on him, and he's got every right to be disappointed because Adam Zampa has got a very good record in white ball cricket when it comes to IPL, when it comes to T20 cricket and ODI cricket in India and in the subcontinent overall. So yes, Adam Zampa not been picked, and Todd Murphy, the off spinner from Victoria, coming in his place because he bowls a little like Nathan Lyon. That is the reason why they must have gone. That's Ashwin's analysis of it. So, Ravichandran Ashwin has just dismissed all the talk of no practice games as the mere, you may say, mind games that Australia will continue to play. Because remember, on the field, it is going to be very, very intense. India, if they win 2 tests or more, if they win 3 tests, they will be the #1 team and they will join Australia in the World Test Championship final. Remember, this is a virtual preview to the World Test Championship final that will happen in June 7th at the Oval. Will India get the better of Australia? Can they prolong Australia's agony of 19 years of not winning a series in India? Or will Pat Cummins' team do the unthinkable? It's all gearing up to be a very, very momentous Border-Gavaskar Trophy. We at Sports Today will be giving you all the latest information. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget to subscribe and press the like, comment and share button. We are also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.